Hi guys, it's Belle here and I am back with Margarete Miller Monday Collage Challenge. This is the hashtag because it's week 40. Don't forget to please put that in on YouTube, Instagram and see what other people are doing. This is the size that I've been using all year. So I'm just going to grab a page. I will just say, feeling a bit poorly today, but must get this filmed, so let's hope I make it through. So this week's is themed. We all know I love a theme or a memory collage, or any of you who've been with me watching me do the Margarete Miller will know that I like a theme. And I was completely inspired by one of the prompts. So one of the prompts is a travel item. That was it, my theme's holiday. So something that starts with H. We've got a couple of bits. We've got a hat, and because it's holiday themed, we have this vintage book page, which is all about hotels and different hotels to stay in, which I just think is wonderful. So I'm going to use that. A travel item. Oh my gosh, we've got so many. Take your pick, guys. We have an aeroplane. We have a boat if I want to use it. We have a passport, luggage. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use. A ribbon. So on this, let me see, on this hat that I want to use, there is a ribbon. Dancing. So I have this sticker set and you can see there's some people dancing. It's not quite the style I was going for, but it was the only thing I had, so that's what we're using. Something messy. Well, when you're out and you're having a holiday, you like to eat maybe some treats. So I have these, they look like scones with jam on them, or crumpets with jam, actually. I think they're crumpets with cream or jam. They're messy to eat because they got jam on them. And something with stripes. So again, I have a couple of things. I have these great stickers here. There's stripes on here, there's a stripe there. Or I have this kind of, it looks like an airmail letter that I'm going to cut around, and that has stripes on it. So let's get started. So the first thing I really want to put down, because this is travel theme, is I want to put this vintage map page down. So that's what I'm going to do. And that will be my background. I mean, it's quite a lot going on it. So I think I want a bit with the river because we're going to be doing about boats. So I want, we'll see what else we can do with that. Hello, Binks. Are you coming to say hello? Yes, so I was inspired by this prompt of a travel theme, and when I was looking for travel theme, I came across these stickers by Jolie's Boutique. What are these ones called? Cruise. I don't know if you can still get them. And the image of that lady on the deck chair immediately put me in mind of the 1920s and 30s. And that, coupled with the fact that right now I am reading, what's it called? I believe it's called Agatha Christie, The Grand Tour. And it's a non-fiction book all about her trip around to do with the British kind of Commonwealth. There was something going on with her first husband, Archie. Her daughter was only about 2 or 3, I believe, when she left her, and they went for several months. She was away for quite a long period of time. Her daughter stayed with both her mother and another relative. And I mean, I am a huge, if you do not know already, I don't know how many videos I say this in because I talk about it a lot. I am a huge Agatha Christie fan, both just her as a person and her books. And I haven't read this before. Now, I have to admit, I'm listening to it on audio. And this is when some of her books are coming out. She actually says that The Sign of 4 is doing quite well, and that she's just finishing a book about these characters called Tommy and Tuppence, and she thinks like it's a really good book and it's going to go quite well. So this was very early on in her career. And as I said, she was still married to her first husband. It was a few years after this that they started the divorced, and her mother died, and Agatha Christie goes missing, and all that kind of thing. And this was her first real ability to travel. And because I'm reading that book and I'm kind of in that kind of era, which has its problems, let's all be honest, but I'm in that era, I saw this sticker and I immediately thought, I mean, Agatha is on a ship. It's not a cruise ship, but it's a bit fancy. It made me think that this is probably where she gets the inspiration for like some of the trips that Poirot goes on in his book. She goes to a lot of countries. She goes around Africa. I think the bit I've just got to, they just arrived in Australia. As I said, obviously it's got issues, colonization and things like that, but it's very interesting considering this book is made up of letters that she wrote to her family. And obviously when the family, like her mother and that, passed away, Agatha took the letters back. So we get, you know, the letters written to her mother about what she's seeing, the people. And actually for her time, not only was she very adventurous, but, and she just wanted to do everything there was to do. Got this little passport thing. But also she was a lot more open-minded than I suppose a lot of people of her time. And she does remark on that. So, you know, it's really interesting hearing her views, seeing what she's getting up to, because after her divorce and her mother's death, she changed a little bit. And actually the introduction to the book is by her grandson, who did know her. And he remarks on that when he came across these letters, she was almost very different to the grandmother that he knew. Not very different, but like the grandmother he knew was a lot more reserved and quiet and didn't want the spotlight as much, whereas this is young Agatha and, you know, life's still lovely for her and she's out having an amazing time. She thought this was going to be the only chance she was going to get to actually travel, which is funny when, if you know about Agatha Christie's life, she then marries someone who she meets after her divorce. She goes traveling as a single woman, which again was very unusual for her time. And she meets, I believe he's an archaeologist, and he ends up becoming her second husband. So they do go on digs and things quite a lot. Again, problematic, I know, but what hotel do I want? I'm trying to look for one that gives me, like, I like the Cliff Tops Hotel. Oh, the Melbourne Hotel there, even though it's not in Melbourne. Agatha lived by the sea, but because she's just got to Australia, let's put the Melbourne Hotel on there. Yeah, what was I saying? So, yeah, she travels a lot, but she thought this was going to be her only attempt to travel because of the job her then husband had, and you know, she was a young mum and all that kind of thing, and so she was making the most of it. Like, people were falling ill and like complaining and all this, and she's just like, this is amazing and I want to do everything I possibly can do whilst we're here to enjoy it, because I don't know when I'm coming back. So reading that book and seeing that image and then thinking about this being a collage with a theme. I love a theme. We know I love a theme. I just think for me, my brain works better when I have a theme or a focus. Even with collage. I mean, I know collage like this is meant to be a bit of fun, and sometimes wacky is great. But my brain personally works better when I have a bit of a theme. So we have something that starts with H. We have something that's striped. Travel item. Well, map is a travel item. We've got a passport, but I want to put the wonderful, who I'm thinking of as a young Agatha, on this boat. So yeah, in her later years, she became a lot quieter and a lot more reserved, and she still travelled a lot, which again we see in her work, her stories about Poirot. I think there's only one. I may be mistaken, but I think there's only one Miss Marple where she goes abroad. I believe. I want this. See, I'm going for a very 20s feel and 30s feel, which means these dancing figures don't really fit. But, I mean, you don't have to do... I do have this. So it's like a Moulin Rouge one, and it's a Paris picture. So do you know what? I feel like that'll fit better. And so I'm going to do that. The dancing, what does it say? Dancing. It just says dancing. So, like, I'm just going to put this, almost like a little stamp that you get in your passport, on here. And there's blues and red on here already. And that works better for me. That goes with the theme a bit better. So I don't quite know where I'm going to put that yet. But I'm not going to use those ones. But I want to use this plain. I mean, she's on a boat, Agatha, but I have this gorgeous plain. This is very old stickers. I have had them quite a while. There's the number if you're interested. I've already used some of these ones, as you can see. But yeah, I really love the vintage look of these. So I feel like I want a plain kind of going up here, maybe. That looks quite good. And we can have the dancing down there. Okay, let's put that on there. Yeah, so I really like this. I was inspired by everything. Don't you just love that when it comes together? Like, everything's like, oh, yes, that all works. And then I had all these fun stickers. So, yeah, I want that one like that. So, yes, we have all these things. Like, we've got the camera and everything that I still want to use. We've got, we've got the hat because that's got the ribbon on it. So let's take the hat again. This is by these, and there's the numbers if you're interested. I don't even remember when I picked these up. Like, do I want the hat up there? Yeah, I feel like I do. Okay, and we have the luggage here. So we do have the luggage, but that would cover up the whole of the I wish, like, could I don't think I can. I think that's fully stuck down, that sticker, because it's a good sticker. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could put it up there. So that's a possibility. Hold on. I think I've got more luggage somewhere. I've got this little red one that's a tag. Maybe that'll work. Anyway, what was I looking for? Something messy. Let's get these crumpets on here because, you know. Oh, and again, these are Jolie's sticker that I've had for a while. English tea. There's the number if you're looking. You know, and Agatha would most definitely, and there's even strawberry jam there, she would most definitely be having like crumpets and cups of tea. I feel like I almost want to put a cup of tea on there because, you know, can't have your crumpets without your tea. So anyway, I want a little spoon. I've got a little gold spoon. Let's put a little gold spoon on there as well. Do I want it on the teacup? No, I feel like I want it with the crumpets so you can spoon your jam on, Agatha. So, yeah, I've got this. I think that does go quite well, actually. I definitely want Melbourne to be looking. Let's have a look at what I've got in here. Lots of travel and journeys. I also had this little postcard that, again, I thought was quite good. You know, because she's writing all the time to her family. I mean, that goes quite well there. Haven't put the luggage on, though. Could put it behind, I suppose. Let's have a look. I feel like I want to use the luggage, but I feel like there's no need. But, you know, don't want a camera. Let's have a look. There's another ribbon here as well, look. There's another little ribbon on something. like it just like that, and we don't need it. Where's that other suitcase? Here. It's a little red one. So what I could do is I could cut this out. So let's do that. These are all just bits that I have had in my stash for a while. And yeah, so I really wanted to do this. Yeah, just reminds me of that book. I'm almost, well, more than halfway through. What I would say though is I wish I'd been able to like find an actual copy, like to read beforehand, which I couldn't. You know, you have to buy them. But I wish I'd kind of found a real copy, because apparently there are loads of photos and yeah, there's loads of photos and like you can see images of her on the holidays, you can see photos of the letters. Apparently it's got like dinner menus and all that kind of thing in it from her travels. So I think as a fan, what I may have to do at some point, I'm still wondering if I want this on here. What I may have to do at some point is actually track down, got that on there, it's another plane, but still, is actually track down the copy of the actual book, because I mean, I like to collect not just her actual work, but actually autobiographies and things of hers. And I hadn't heard of that one before. I don't think it's fairly recent, but I hadn't heard of it. I've got this cute little thing. You will remember at moderate rates. I feel like that would go really well there too. I've got this plain one, a passport. I had other little bits, but I decided not to. Got some more stamps here. Let's see. So yeah, I feel like I want to track down a copy, because I think on the whole I would love to actually see the actual pictures that were in there. I think that would be fun, and just see, as I said, a young Agatha and what she was up to, and see, right now I just had something, there it is, and all that kind of thing. That's what I think I would like to do. So I would say, if it sounds like something you're interested in, try and find the book itself, because I think you would get more from the book than just listening to the audio. Although it is really interesting, because one of the characters in it, now Agatha Christie, in case you didn't know, did not like basing her characters on someone she knew. Like, she didn't mind people watching, and she would see someone, but as soon as she heard someone's name or met them or found out anything about them, she was like, no, that kind of ruins it for me, because I can't really make them who I want them to be. So yeah, she didn't like that. But apparently there is a very annoying man in this book. Very annoying. Very what you would call typical old empire bore. And apparently she did base a character on him, quite close to on him, in one of her books, which, as her grandson said, was just very unusual. Do I want opera glasses? No, I don't. Do I need anything else? Do I want another bow? No, I don't think I do. I think that's everything, guys. I actually do think that's everything. Do I want an anchor, maybe? Well, an anchor might be nice, because obviously she is on a boat in the autobiography. So I think I'm just going to... I didn't need the anchor, but I used it. Anyway, guys, that's it. That came together so quickly. This is why I like themes. Once I get an idea in my head, and everything often comes together quite quickly. Sometimes they're not my favourites, but you know what? I really like this one. I really like how it's turned out, and I hope I wasn't boring you too much with my Agatha Christie. If I have, well, just be aware that you're probably going to hear about Agatha Christie quite often at random points on my channel because it's a thing. But anyway, here we go, guys. So something that starts with a H. We've got the hotel and a hat. A travel item. Take your pick. We have got a hotel. You know, you've got luggage. We're on a plane. You know, a map, postcards, a passport. Take your pick. A ribbon. We've got a ribbon on the hat. Dancing. We've got this little bit of a Moulin Rouge, like if they're traveling to Paris. Something messy. Crumpets with jam and cream. Oh, love a crumpet. Really do love a crumpet. And something with stripes. So we have the stripes around the postcard and we have the stripes on the deck chair. So let me know what you think down below, guys. I really love how quickly this came together and the look of it. I love the kind of, the 30s is my, 20s and 30s is probably my favourite, one of my favourite eras, especially for like clothes and style and furniture and everything. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and I made it through. Woohoo! Even though I'm feeling poorly. Tell you, distract me with Agatha Christie and, you know, I'm invincible. No, I'm not really. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out Margarete Miller's links down below for both her Etsy and her YouTube. And don't forget, I have a playlist of both my completed last year's Margarete Miller collage and this year's, everything I've done up until week 40. So check that out as well if you haven't. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be back again soon. Thank you so much for watching. And wherever you are in the world, even if you're on holiday, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now, guys.